Okay, so coffee is ready and summer is finally here. Which means I want to start something new. Something bigger for the project. I feel like Hank, Edna, and Colbert finally have somewhere they can relax and enjoy their lives. So maybe it's time to focus somewhere else for a while. Maybe it's time for Wiyoh Falls itself to start growing a little. Today, and for many months to come, we're going to be building the main street of the town. I've been looking at a lot of reference photos from small towns in the northern United States. Places in Massachusetts, Maine, Vermont. Those quiet little downtown areas surrounded by trees, old brick buildings, and faded road signs. And when I felt ready, I created a new empty map in Unreal. I went into Blender and decided to reuse the rural roads I had already created, repurposing parts of the mesh and textures to build a much larger 2-lane road. I split it in half, then doubled its size. At this point, I didn't really care about making the texture seamless, but it's something I'll need to address eventually. I stitched everything together and rebuilt the entire road, this time much larger. Obviously, there's a much faster way to weld these vertices together, but since there aren't that many of them, I'd rather do it one by one and make sure every single vertex is properly welded. But that's just the insecure side of me talking. Feel free to take shortcuts when you need to. I took a second strip that kind of fit and stitched it in as well. Once I was done, I just repeated the same process on the other side of the street. The only problem left was the texture. Like I mentioned earlier, rearranging and adding road pieces to make it larger kind of messed up how seamless it looked. So honestly, I mostly just played around with the UVs to mask the seams as much as possible. There wasn't really any secret trick here. It's not perfect, but it works. After adding a few cuts here and there to make the white and yellow lines fit properly, I managed to turn this small road into a much bigger 2-lane street. For this new map, I ended up making 5 different road types, all based on the smaller versions I already had. A 4-way intersection, a 3-way intersection, a straight road, and 2 crossing variations with stop lines for traffic. The next part was something Wiyoh Falls had been missing for a long time: sidewalks. Since the previous map was basically just the entrance to the town, sidewalks weren't really necessary. But now, they're definitely gonna be needed. I grabbed an old concrete texture as a placeholder and built out the geometry on both sides of the road to get a better sense of the width. But after a while, and after some arguing with ChatGPT, I ended up making the sidewalks their own entity. This gives me better control over their placement in Unreal, with the road and sidewalks as 2 separate splines. I then grabbed a sidewalk texture that I thought was much better at first, but it ended up being a bit too cartoony, so I went with a 3rd one. This one fit like a glove. I added a custom curb on one side, created a corner piece in an off-ramp curb, and that was it, ready to be placed in Unreal. And in Unreal, I created sockets to connect these spline sections, naming them after the cardinal directions. It allows me to snap all the different parts together in the right place, almost like Lego blocks. I'd say that's pretty neat. Neat, but still kind of empty. So, to make it feel a bit more believable, I decided to work on some ground markings that would basically act as decals. I gathered a bunch of arrow markings onto a single UV sheet and packed them tightly together. After that, I adjusted the transparency to help them blend in a bit more and added some wear and tear, using a simple brush. Since they're going to be reused across multiple maps in the future, I wanted them to be as detailed as possible. I then removed the concrete background and jumped back into Blender. Here I created a plane from the road and slapped the texture onto it. I enabled correct face attributes in the top right corner of the viewport, which allowed me to stretch the geometry without affecting the UVs and tweak them more easily. This is so satisfying. Once I was done, I scaled the plane to match the textile density of the road texture underneath it. And I simply repeated the process for all the other markings. Some of them, like this one, required a little more geometry and attention, but nothing too complicated. Once I was done, I had a full collection of arrows, and I was pretty happy with how they turned out. I went back into Unreal and started placing them. It might seem subtle, but it makes a huge difference. I decided to reuse some older generic assets we had already made to make the place feel a little livelier. At this point, the foundation of the street was really starting to come together. I added a fake tree line to help hide the edge of the world. I then added some temporary placeholder trees to make the street feel a bit more complete, until we had the buildings. Added thinner variations as well. And next thing you know, we've got a nice fully built looking main street for Wiyoh Falls. But there's still a final centerpiece missing. Something that would help the map feel a bit more like a true main street. Buildings will be added throughout the next episodes, for sure. I'm talking about traffic lights. Fully functional traffic lights. So I jumped back into Blender one last time to model them. At first, I wanted a 3-hank high mast pole to get that old school town feel, but for some reason, I wasn't really happy with the shape. I went back to the drawing board and decided to go with something more classic and more refined looking. By the way, if you're enjoying the project and want to support the channel, consider subscribing. I also have a Patreon if you'd like to help keep this going. The link's in the description. Once I was happy with the pole, I started modeling the actual signal heads. Modeling is a big word here. I was really just putting together the different pieces that would make up the final mesh to get a rough idea of what it would look like. I then added the pedestrian light and a street sign right between the lights. Once everything was in place, I began adding imperfections, making it all a bit crooked and uneven. I then modeled the light at the top. I went back and added more details to the pedestrian light. Once I was done, I added a subtle pattern to the metal base of the light. By the way, thank you for watching all of this. I'm really happy to keep expanding Wiyoh Falls, and knowing you guys are watching what I do, I can't say it enough. It's still ridiculous to me. I'm extremely grateful. I then moved on to texturing the lights themselves. I just grabbed different variations of the same light, unlit, green, yellow, and red. It was important to have all of them since I wanted traffic lights to be fully functional. By default, they're not lit, so the base mesh uses the unlit version of all the lights. And the cherry on top is custom signs for all the roads in town. The main street will be called Founders Street. The 3 crossing avenues will be called Town Hall, Heritage, and Cardinal. And that was it. Thanks to the magic of the sequencer, it just works. And they're all perfectly synchronized. That's all for this episode. I really hope you enjoyed it. Again, if you'd like to support the project even further and help shape Wiyoh Falls by suggesting buildings you'd like to see added in future updates, feel free to join my Patreon. Let's talk about it there. And to my 4 amazing patrons, thank you. Your support means more to me than you probably realize. I'll see you in the next one.